Bear with me for a second, please. Hey, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly and can see me clearly. My screen to me looks blue, so I'm not sure what I look like to you. Hey, Cam. I'm hoping that I get men in here, seeing that this is a ritual that is designed for men on top of the thousands of men requests that I get. Let's just see. I'm very discreet about a bunch of men sending me friend requests. Now I don't see no men. Isn't that a trip? But anywho. So for those of you who are here, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for showing up. This is Bridget Shaman on Facebook and Bag Lady Shaman on Instagram. So, first, I hope you guys are enjoying this bipolar ass weather because I'm in DC and it's messy. One day it's hot, one day it's cold. We got snow and we got rain. So I trust that you guys have had an amazing weekend so far and are ready for your week. Okay, thank you. So two things coming up. I have two rituals backed by popular demand. The goddess activation will be happening on April the 29th. I got an amazing, overwhelming response to the first activation that I did, which was in January. Um, and so many people missed that one. And then I just kept getting requests for people who wanted it. I offer that on my site. And so I offer it as an individual service though on my site. So this is going to be another group activation, goddess activation, April the 29th at 11:11 a.m. So if you guys want to get in this activation, please DM me on my Facebook or my Instagram, preferably my Facebook because that's where my Cash App is. And that is how you will get to pay for your slot. It's $44. Yeah, if you missed the first time, because that was a treat, I think everybody got it for 22, maybe 21. I think I did it 2 days, as a matter of fact. And depending on the response that I get this time, I may, in fact, do this one for 2 days again. The first time I had to do 2 days. So this time, if I get enough people, I will do 2 days again. It just depends, okay? Um, on April the 30th, I will be offering to my men only something that I've never done. I've not really seen anybody doing this. But this ritual actually, it's a ritual and a Reiki healing wrapped up into one. And so this is called the Release the Guilt. The reason why this to me is so important, first of all, my ancestors came to me with this. And let me just say that I was raised by a single father. My mother didn't raise me. My father raised me. Okay. So my perspectives and outlooks on things are way different than most females. There are some females that have been raised by their fathers, and I have met some, and their outlook and perspective on men and women relationships, and so on and so forth, is different than a female who was raised by a female only. Okay. So I am able to see things from the perspective of a male's outlook. Okay. Because I dealt with one all my life. And I was raised in a house with one female. And my grandmother had 5 boys. So masculine energy is very prominent in my family, and that's all I've always been around. And I saw a lot of why this ritual is important. Okay. The importance of the release the guilt ritual. Hey, Kendra. Hey, Steve. The importance for this release the guilt ritual. Now, we're going to get real downright and dirty in this conversation because it's some shit that needs to get said that a lot of women are not going to want to hear. They are not going to want to agree with it. But if you are at that point where you cannot resonate with what I am going to say, then that means you still have a lot of growing to do. Okay, so this is for the grown and sexy folks, the grown and ready to elevate people. So if you feel like what I might say is going to be offensive to you as a mother, as a woman, or whatever, I don't give a fuck. I'm a woman too. And I'm a woman with 4 boys. Okay. I have 4 boys and 2 girls. So hold on one second, you guys. Okay. Sorry about that. I hope y'all didn't hear me scream. Door, please. So the reason why this is really important is because what I have seen in my growing up and what I have seen in relationships that I've been in, what I have seen in a lot of my sister friends, my girlfriends, my family. One thing that I am noticing and have seen, and I can't even say that I myself haven't done it very early on in my child rearing years. I'm 44, so I had my first child when I was 22. Even that early at having children, my perspectives on men's roles and responsibilities still were not what the average woman would think. But after having children, that changed too. And what I realized is that the weight of the world is put on a man's back. Okay. And it's not their fault. I think that our men have been made to live up to expectations that even we know are not realistic. So our men grow up with the mindset that already they got a lot of shit to hold up to. They got a lot of baggage on them from birth. I can't even tell you how many families I have seen where little boys, when the fathers aren't there or the father walks out on the entire family, or something happens to the father, whether he gets locked up, he gets killed, or whatever, the first thing you hear another family member tell the oldest boy in the family, which is usually a young one, is that you got to take care of the family. Why the fuck are we putting that type of responsibility on such a young individual? And in their mind, they think that they are responsible for what is ultimately the adult's responsibility. I watched an episode of Ayanna where she had a family where there were, I think, 5 boys and one girl. Both the parents were on drugs, and the oldest boys were basically left to take care of the family. The young girl was split and sent with her grandmother. The 5 boys were put in a total of 85 fucking foster homes. Okay. They were telling stories about how they slept in like cars or a van on the side of the road. And some of y'all might have seen this episode. The craziest shit I ever seen or heard of. Okay. But what ended up happening was the oldest son got killed with one of his brothers in a drug sale gone bad. And then there was another one who was the next oldest. And the first thing that came out his mouth, he had so much anger and resentment towards his siblings, and especially his sister. She was older than all of them, but she was young when they were separated. He had so much anger and resentment towards his siblings because he felt like he failed them. And he was jealous of his sister because he felt like his sister didn't bother to come and check back on them. And her argument to him was, I was in the same situation that you was in. I was young too. Just because I'm older than you doesn't mean that I was able. And the way he was talking to her was as if she was a grown woman with a job that could have taken them in, and she was just as young as they were. And he was putting the blame, shifting it, and laying it in her lap like, you should have came back and got us, or you should have seen about us. And she was like, hello, I'm in the same situation. At least y'all had each other, is what her argument was. At least y'all was together, because she was by herself. I'm saying this to say that where in the Sam sausage hell did we come up with the concept that the man is first responsible for raising the man? Scratch that. Okay. Here's a news flash in case you missed this motherfucking memo. If you are a woman and you have bore a male child, it is your responsibility first to raise and rear that male child. And this is what we do. When our male children are born and then the relationship don't work out with the father, the first thing we do is, you got to do your part. Okay. I'm not shifting any responsibility off of the person who assisted you in creating or bringing this soul into this earthly realm. What I'm saying is you are the carrier of this soul. You are the one that this soul hears, smells, feels, whatever you hear, smell, and feel. So then common sense would say, I'm the first teacher of this child. So when this baby is born, and then it's born into a situation that is not the baby's fault, why you and this other person didn't work out. When this young man starts to grow and he starts smelling his ass, the first thing a woman wants to do is, I'm sending you to your father. Really? Like, do you even know what this man might be going through? And here's the thing that really bothers me. Okay. And I'm a mom, and I was a single mom for a very long fucking time. And my oldest one is 22. I have a 22-year-old son. I have a 20-year-old son, an 18-year-old son, and I have a 9-year-old son. So let's just, for 1 minute, just for real, think about something. I don't know how you living, and I don't know what you're going through, but why is it that as a female, we seem to think that men aren't going through shit either? If you're going through it as a woman, and we already know what our place looks like in society, well, you already know what a black man's place looks like in society. So the both of you all made a very conscious decision to lay your ass down and decide that we getting ready to do an act with no protection that has the possibility of creating another soul to come to this earthly plane. But let's just think for a minute. You don't know what that man is going through, has gone through, or none of that. So you don't even know the mental capacity of the person that you asking to step in and take care of your child. First of all, okay? Second of all, the first thing we want to do, we want to go to the government. Now, as much as I hear about conscious community, which is bullshit to me, there is no such thing as conscious community. As much as I hear about conscious community, them the main motherfuckers that's talking about all the shit that's wrong with us, but I don't see nothing actually happening, because all I really see is a bunch of YouTube videos and people trying to get popular, and you want a whole bunch of motherfucking followers, but you're not really doing shit. Okay. It's not really making a lot of sense to me that our copper color men have been put in a position from before they even came out the stomach. You got shit to do. Like already, you come into the world with shit to do. You got shit on your. How the fuck do you come here from another plane as an infant and already you got a plate with shit on it? Where? Why? How is that? How did we come to put shit on a man's plate that ain't his? Well, here's the thing. So you have a bunch of men running around with the weight of the world on their shoulders. They got to take care of the family. Some of the mothers then just check the fuck out because they can't handle it. So you got a young male that is trying to make up for the father being gone, that's trying to make up for the mother doing whatever the hell she doing. And so then you got siblings that come in. And here's the thing. Women, we keep on having babies. We seek reprieve in sex and relationships from men. Why? Because we are told from jump that the man is responsible for taking care of you. Why? Because that little scripture in the damn Bible that says that the man is basically supposed to be the breadwinner and the woman is supposed to be submissive. Fuck that. Where? Why? No. Because guess what? If you didn't have a baby, you didn't have a man, how the fuck you gonna eat? How you gonna pay your rent? How you gonna pay your car note? How you gonna pay your cell phone? How you gonna go get your nails done? How you gonna go get your hair done? How you gonna stay dressed in your Michael Kors and Gucci and shit? You're not gonna wait on no man to do that. That is a false sense of reality to think that in your mind that is how it's supposed to be. That's an added bonus. If you find a man that does that shit for you, that is a bonus. And I'm just going to tell you that for those of you, and I know you ain't gonna want to hear this, but there are some women who make that their business to, I'm going to get me a man. I'm not paying for shit. I'm not paying my bills. I'm not paying my rent. I'm not paying my car note. Why would I do that when I can go get a man? Well, that would be why your ass don't come home as wife material. Okay. You're not going to come home as wifey material. Matter of fact, he's not even going to let you meet his mother. You will always be a jump off. You will always be a booty call. You will always be that one to get the phone call after midnight. You won't even be the one that gets to go out in the daytime. You'll only get to go out at night when you know nobody's out to see y'all together like y'all coupled up. Okay? No. So here's the thing. In my experience, and I'm not the only one, so please don't put no messages or DM me later on saying I'm a bitter black woman. I'm not bitter. Because let me tell you something. I have 4 males. And I don't do the child support shit. I don't do that court shit. I don't have time for that. Because I'm secure within myself that I know I lay down. And I know that I am the very first teacher of this meal. So if the man doesn't stay around or is not present, who gives a rat's ass? I am still the creator of this male being that will ultimately become a man. A lot of our men have mixed up perceptions of women based off of their mother. Here's why men treat women fucked up, because their mother did not do what she was supposed to do. Now that's a real truth. It's a hard pill to swallow, but goddamn it, open your throat, fucking esophagus up, and take a big ass gulp of water, because that's some shit you gotta hear. I haven't even always been the proper mother that I could have been to my older children, because I was that single mother, and I felt like I felt like, well, nigga, you don't want to stick around. I'm not gonna make you do something that you know you supposed to do. And that was during my Christian walk days. And what I used to say is, God gonna get you. He can get you better than anything that I could ever do. So I'm not gonna bother you. I'm gonna let the universe handle you. Because trust me when I tell you, you won't have an easy life. You won't have a good one. It will be rough. Okay? Whatever it is that you impose upon me will be imposed upon you. That was my thinking at the time. Okay? And still today, I still don't see a need to run to a government or run to a systematic makeup to tell a grown ass person what they know that they assisted with, that you need to do this, that, and the third. Because guess what's going to happen? they're going to tell you they ain't got no job. They're going to tell the courts they ain't got no job, so they don't have to give you no money, or their ass is going to get gone and you ain't going to know where they at, so you still won't be getting no money. So it doesn't make sense. But then you wonder why a lot of our men, like I said, they treat women based on how their mothers raised them or treated them. Okay, you're going to get that. Get into asking your man about the relationship between him and his mother. Our men, you beat up on women and you treat them mean. You do fucked up shit to them. Why? Because fucked up shit was done to you and you was treated mean. That is not your fault. That is not, let me say this again. It's not your fault. And Black women, you have got to stop holding that flame under that man and making him feel like it is his fault for every other dude that treated you fucked up too. It's not. Okay? Understand something. When you can nurture a man who has not been nurtured, you will get the best out of that man. A man will tell you that. Okay? But you also have to remember, we got a lot of adult people, a lot of adult bodies walking around that are holding children inside. And please know that wherever that young man got hurt at, that is where that young man is stuck at. Okay? So how do we fix that? Well, first of all, you have to go back and tell these men it's not your fault. And you are not responsible for the fucked up relationships that I was in prior to you. You are not responsible for me being a single mother. You are not responsible for your thought that whooping my ass is going to make me do what you want me to do. It is not your fault that you cannot pay your bills. It is not your fault that you don't know that you need to pay child support. That is a learned behavior. And when we can come to a place where we can be grown ass people and understand and understand that it's taught. Someone taught that young man that. Stop thinking that these young men have walked their ass out the coochie and just when they grew up just was like, fuck it, I'm not doing shit. No. The same thing goes for a female. If you got a female and her mother was a street runner, 9 times out of 10, your daughter is going to be out in the street because we do what we see. We do that shit as grown folks, okay? We sit and we watch these people on YouTube. We watch these reality shows and we think I want that life. That's not your life, okay? I live on Euclid Street Northwest. I don't live in LA. I don't live in New York. I'm not loving hip hop. I'm not Tamar and Vince. I'm not the Braxtons. I'm Crystal, Bridget Sharman, Bag Lady Sharman. Okay. This is my walk right here. That's their walk right there. Okay. I'm not telling anybody to agree with me, but what I am saying is that our men need to be released from all that shit that has been put on them. They cannot properly function. They are scared to step into the occult. They are scared to embrace themselves. They are scared to embrace the feminine aspect of themselves. Oh, why? Because a woman has scorned them first. And the first woman that scorned them is their motherfucking mother. Now, some of y'all ain't gonna like hearing that from me, but if you okay with hearing that from Ayanna, then go ahead and listen to a couple of her episodes. And if she take her shoes off, then you know her ass is gonna get in your ass because she don't have time for the bullshit. And you have to listen. This is her favorite line: "Call a spade a spade. You have to call it how you see it." Okay. And so today it is time out for this shit. We have too many men who are walking around with king possibilities, with godlike tendencies. Okay, those things need to be activated so that you can see that man that you have always desired and wanted, that man that you keep calling on. You keep writing down these little spells and rituals talking about what kind of man you want, and you only get a part of that man because you never even put in there that he was healed from nothing that happened in his childhood. You just, everything is superficial, not inward. I want a man that on the inside, your ass is healed. I'm not saying you couldn't have went through no shit, but be healed in your shit. though. Be okay with being ready to heal. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. We make our men scared to even admit that they done fucked up. And I'm gonna tell you something. A man, a real man, even when he whooping your ass, he know he wrong as a motherfucker. Because in the back of his mind, he already saying, especially if when he get finished, trust me, that nigga done went in the bathroom or went and hung with his boys and was like, man, I know I shouldn't have did that shit, but she pissed me off. They already know that what they do is not. No, it's not. But here's the thing. I'm not telling you to be in relationship with a broken man. But what I'm saying to you is you have to meet a person where they at. So many people don't feel that you have to meet people where they are. I ain't say you had to stay with them. I ain't say you had the relationship with them where they're at. But be willing to overstand and understand where this person is mentally, emotionally. Okay? Be okay with wanting to know just exactly how was your childhood? What the fuck went down? What happened? Did you have a bad one? I mean, if you did, what let me help you. Let me help you help you. Okay? It is time for my men to release off of the guilt. It's men walking around here with thousands of dollars of child support that you know that you will not be able to do. Why? Because you have already given up from the very beginning. Okay? When that woman went down to the court, or when the court contacted you and told you that you was coming to court for child support, half of y'all done slept around with so many women that the first thing out your mouth is, it ain't mine. Because you think that because you sleep around with a bunch of women, so is she. No, that's not the case. Always. I'm not saying that ain't ever happened, but that's not always the case. And just consider there's a possibility that you might be. So don't, them shows like Maury and all of that stuff, and you see them dudes coming out acting all goofy and childish and the women rolling all on the floor. Why is that? Was y'all doing that before y'all got ready to lay down and do the thing? Because if y'all did, that would have turned me off. Like, I'd be like, no, nigga, there is no sleeping on going on here with all of that type of commotion and activity going on. That's how you act. Like, that's not new. When you see somebody act like, that's not no new shit. Okay. But at the end of the day, you guys hold way too much on your shoulders, and you are constantly, you never feel like you have accomplished anything, because as soon as you do something, there is something else that's knocking at your door telling you, you owe this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you have to do that. You ain't got to do nothing for real. This shit doesn't just apply to women. This applies to men too. You have a journey, just like women do. But each of us, men and women, we all carry both masculine and feminine energy. Men do not want to tap into that divine feminine, because the first thing out your mouth is I'm gonna be gay. They gonna think I'm gay. That's some sissy shit. Unfortunately, the reason why you can't have a good relationship with a woman is because you haven't been able to tap into your feminine, your divine feminine energies. Maybe if you tapped into her, that nurturing that you missed from your mother, you would get that. Okay? If our women would stop being so hard all the time and embrace some of these men. I ain't telling you to be I'm gonna say this again. This is my disclaimer. I'm not telling you to be in a relationship with a broken man. But if we cannot keep going around saying each one teach one, it takes a village to raise a child. You cannot say that if you are not committed to it. That shit doesn't make sense. Okay? Let me see what some of y'all are saying. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My sound went out. Matter of fact, I don't even know how I hit that. But anyway, I'm not sure what y'all heard last. Let me see. Okay, I don't know what part. Somebody typed to me what you last heard. So let me just rewind a little bit. What I was saying was that basically, oh wow, y'all missed 15 minutes? 5 minutes? Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I hit. Anyway, it'll come back to me what I was saying. But in a nutshell, my point was this, that we do so much, and the first thing we do is tell our black men, our young men, fresh at the age that they are able to work, what you gotta do? You gotta go get a job. Go get a job. You gotta go to college. Go to college. Why are we doing it? I got so much bite back. I don't know if y'all heard this part of me saying that I taught my sons to work for themselves, not work for somebody else. Do not go and fuel somebody else's dream and legacy when you can do that for yourself. We spend money on other people's names and not even our own. We don't even like our name. We don't honor ourselves now one motherfucking bit. Let me tell you something about spiritual journey. Spiritual journey is you. Spiritual journey is getting to know who the fuck you are, because for so long you have been someone else. Someone else gave you a name. Someone else told you how to live. Someone else showed you the things that they did and they like. That's not you. Okay. Many of us, when we leave home, the first thing that we basically are doing is exploring the shit that we like that we never got to do, or the things that we were told not to do from our parents. We go out and do that shit. And here's the thing. I'm a 70s baby. So I come from an era where you don't talk about no drugs. You don't talk about no sex. It's do as I say. Do as you told. Don't ask no questions. That type of shit. So everything that I learned pertaining to being a woman and how to take care of myself and being in relationships, I just watched from seeing it, and I learned it from my sex education class. That's wrong on so many levels. Why the fuck are we scared? Here's the thing. Why are we scared to talk to our kids about what sex really is and what it's used for? But you don't have no problem with going to sleep with Tom, Dick, Joe, Ray from around the corner, Dwayne from around the way. When you want something, that shit don't make no sense. Men, why is it so hard to sit down and have a conversation with your young man and sit his ass down and tell him, this is what happened to me? Why are we so scared? Because we have been told, men are told from the very beginning, boys don't cry. Boys don't show a sign of being scared. You got to be tough. No, no, and no. Because let me tell you, the roles actually got reversed. Instead of them, the women started being tough and the women started holding back tears. So how in the hell do our men know when shit that y'all do is hurtful, bothersome, or it's not clicking? Because somewhere in the communication, we've been told, shut up, don't say nothing. Some of us want to attribute that to the slave mentality. Some of that shit ain't no slave mentality. That's just your parents telling you to shut the fuck up. And women have a place and men have a place. And we've always been taught that men are superior to women and this, that, and the third. We all have masculine and feminine genes. So you could not be superior to me. Okay? Let's get out of that. So the first thing you have to do is you have to release all those things that you were ever taught, all the thoughts that you had, all the things that you saw, all the things that you learned. You got to do away with that. If you want to release this guilt, you got to release everything that you was ever taught and start over from zero. But here's the difference. You get to teach your own self now. You are the master of yourself. Learning how to master yourself starts with you. Learning how to master yourself means going within. Learning how to master yourself means to do away with everything that everybody else ever told you was the best thing for you and doing what you feel is the best thing for you. You got to do what resonates with you right here. Right here. You got to see right here and stop seeing from right here. Because here's the thing. Everything we do is based off of visual. Okay. If you put a man in a room with a blindfold on and you put him in a room with a bunch of women and just told the women to say something to him, the voice ain't gonna make, he want to see. Let me see what that look like. That voice sound good, but I gotta see what it look like. But if she talking right and if she telling you the right things and she do the right things, why does it matter what she look like? Because that's what you was taught. Because somebody told that man, your woman need to look like this, your woman need to that. Souls just need to resonate with souls. Your energy just needs to exchange with the proper type of energy. Okay. But you're not taught about energy as a young man. All you are taught is to look at a woman for her assets, for her body parts. Half of y'all not even, some of y'all parents never even told y'all to listen to a woman, listen to the words that she speak. Listen to her thoughts. When I say listen to her thoughts, because what a woman thinks, she will speak out her mouth. We don't teach that to our young men. It's look at her. I have seen plenty of men walking around with some beautiful looking goddesses. Like they look like, notice I said look like goddesses. But as soon as they open their mouth, they sound like Bonquisha off the B2. This is a bus that rides in DC, y'all. And it's the most ratchet bus. Sounds like Bonquisha riding on the B2 bus. Heading straight for the hood. Pretty, but you are dumb as hell up here. And this is what we relationship with. Our men take advantage of our women because our women are not teaching our men how to respect themselves first. Fuck respect a woman. Let's just take that out. If you respected yourself, then you would surely respect the person in front of you, whether it was a man or a woman. But when you are not taught to respect yourself, when you are taught that you are less than, when you are taught that everything is in your hands, you got to take care of everything, you learn to let go of respect and just do shit. Just because. We have got to get out of that. Okay, that responsibility is no longer yours. And I'm sorry, women, if you don't agree with this, I completely and thoroughly understand and understand. But I'm just saying to you that there will come a time where you will be forced to rethink your thought process about what I'm saying. Okay. And sometimes my shit comes off brash. Sometimes that's just how I am. That's just me. So I don't know another way of saying it where it sounds pretty, but I think that we're past the pretty stage because we have run out of time. We have got a generation of young men who don't give a fuck. They don't give a damn. I have watched these young kids, my son, this era that my children are in, these young men have no respect for women whatsoever. They will tell them to suck they whatever, and the female will reciprocate and say the same thing. These young people today are so screwed up. And I posted on my Facebook, this young girl, she dropped some straight jewels. She did a rap. I guess she's about to release a record, and this was one of her songs. And it was basically asking God, why the fuck is all of this shit going on? Why are you letting babies get killed? Why are kids getting snatched and so on and so forth? And the end of the song, she said, it's because of you. It's us. This generation, my generation, the ones before me, my father's generation, they just completely dropped the bag. They just completely asleep. Okay? They don't even want to wake up. You couldn't even convince them of anything remotely close to anything different than Christianity. They stuck right there. So then you got my generation who started but didn't finish. Because why? I guess you got tired. We got tired. The struggle got tired. You can never get tired of wanting reprieve. You can never get tired of wanting to uplift and elevate your people. These are your people. Not just mine, they are your people. You cannot get tired of your people. Because guess what? That's how come your people are walking around the way they are just right now. Because somebody got tired. Their own parents got tired. So what the hell else are our men left with? If your own parents get tired of you and it ain't nobody else. So we leave JoJo, who's a kingpin, to raise that boy. No. Then the cycle doesn't do anything but keep going over and over and over again. And you keep raising a bunch of men that are not going to be responsible. And they're going to always feel like this shit is on my shoulders. I got to take care of the block. I got to take care of the block and my family. Well, now I got to take care of the block, my family. And Joe, he got locked up. So now I got to take care of his family. You're not even taking care of yours. That doesn't, no. Let me tell you something that I learned. I was sharing this with another sister friend of mine. I said this to my sons. I had to go back and apologize to my grown ass sons because I realized, and this was just recently, I realized that I have always taught my children to be loyal. Be loyal. Okay? But what I didn't do was teach them what to be loyal to. I have watched my children dedicate themselves to energy vampires. I have watched my sons be available to people who they should not have been available to. And that was because I taught their ass loyalty. I didn't teach them what to be loyal to. So yes, I as a mom have had to go back into my sons' lives and shift some shit around, change some things, and tell them, wait a minute, hold up on that. Okay, I was wrong as a motherfucker, and you got to go back in and do some different shit. Okay, be okay with that though. Listen, kids don't come with instructions, and neither do we. We came here with no instructions. We are now trying to get the instructions. We're trying to figure this shit out. The only way you're going to do that though is by way of your ancestors. That's the way you figure it out. Okay, most of our men are scared to tap into that though. And that's because as a woman, we don't even teach them that. We just take them to church. Look, y'all just take them to church. Half of y'all don't even know why y'all going to church. And so you're going to drag this young man and all your other children into a facility. You don't even quite understand what you dragging your own self into. So our children keep coming up with these fake ass realities, I guess you want to say. And they keep coming up with other people's perspectives of how shit should go. No. So this ritual, Release the Guilt, is April the 30th at 6 p.m. And I am going to light candles. I will tell you what candles. I'm not finished dealing with my spirit team yet on exactly how they want me to do this ritual, but they gave me the date, they gave me the time, and they told me what it was for. And this is to release every chain that has ever been hooked up to you. This is to release that choker that was put around your neck. Half of y'all dealing with about 6 or 7 baby mamas, and y'all can't see your children. It's too much. And until you can get in a space where you are okay with yourself, you will always have somebody else controlling you and telling you what you need to do for you. You have got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet as a man, but understand that it is not your fault and it is not your responsibility. All the things that when I say we, I'm saying society has put on your shoulders do not belong to you. That's the easiest thing for us to do is shift the blame. We never want to take responsibility ourselves. We don't want to hold the bags that we fill up. We want to put that shit in somebody else's lap and say, here, you carry that. That shit got too heavy for me. So no. So then what you end up having is a bunch of men, they get into relationships with you. And trust me, I'm going to tell you something that I learned. Their intention is always right. You can't take that away from a person. There are some of the men that we come across, their intention is very pure. They are very pure at heart, but they don't know how to deliver the intention that they have. So what ends up happening is you and him end up trying to help him heal, you trying to heal. And if you are at a point right now where you simply are confused and you feel weighted down, you shouldn't even be in no goddamn relationship. You should not. Okay. And that is being self-full. That's not being selfish. That is being self-full. Because if your cup is empty, there is no way in 49,000 hells you could give anybody anything from your cup. Because you're not supposed to give from your cup. Your cup should be full to the max for you. Anything, you should have shit running over this cup. It should be all over the table. That's the shit that everybody else gets, not what's in your cup. That's your shit. Never. And that's the problem that we incur when we deal with broken men, when we deal with men who feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders because they were taught to give out of their cup to give to you. They was never taught to give you their overflow and let them feel. And here's the thing, women, we become selfish. I want what's in. Matter of fact, just give me your cup. Fuck that. You don't need a cup. That's how we operate. Why? Because we watch our parents argue. We watch our mom argue with our father. We watch our father walk out and shit like that. Time out for that. That shit is old as hell now. Now it is time to build a nation up, build each other, elevate. Nobody can elevate if all you keep doing is telling somebody what the fuck they do wrong. That's wrong. You shouldn't do that. That's your opinion. That might not be wrong for that person. So let that person have their journey. I'm going to tell you something that I shared with my husband. Not a lot of women could be able to be in a relationship with somebody and tell that person, I understand that your journey is yours and mine is mine. And where you go on your journey, it might take you in some windy ass roads. And guess what? I'm cool with that. I'm going to let that sit right there because half of y'all get into a relationship with expectation that it's all about you. And what you should realize is that the whole reason you even in that relationship is because it's about you seeing you, not you seeing the other person. That person is only with you as a mirror of who you are to show you who the fuck you are. Not all that other extra shit that go on in the middle. That's all distractions. Your sexual encounter is meant for manifesting shit that the both of you all need. Okay? Need. Shit that you are trying to manifest, make, create. Creation. That's what sex is. It's creation. So if you know that you can create a whole human life from having a sexual act, then just imagine the other shit that you could create. That's too much for some of y'all. That went over somebody's head, clearly. Because if you realize that I can create a whole motherfucking living thing, what the fuck else could you create? Stop having useless sex and make this shit work. But here's the thing. Don't keep getting into relationships because the last one was fucked up and because that person hurt me. So now I want somebody to make me feel good. If you can't make yourself feel good, you will never make another person feel good. And that's being real. And where does that start? It starts with you first. So that is why it is time for our men to release all that shit. I don't care what you did in your past. That shit is old. It's the past. You cannot keep living in that place. But what you want to do is heal that space so that you can be the best version of yourself for you and somebody else. You cannot take care of anybody else if you can't take care of you wholly inside. Okay? You got to take care of your crown. You got to take care of your third eye. You got to be able to see shit from a mind's perspective. You got to be able to speak your truth from your throat chakra. You got to be able to feel love from yourself, from your heart chakra. Okay? Where your money, the reason why your finances is fucked up because your sacral chakra and your solar plexus is all fucked up. That's where your money comes from. Your root chakra is not being used for the proper thing. That's another reason why your love life is fucked up and your money is fucked up. So when you can get all those things together within yourself first, then you can give to somebody else. So we're going to release that stuff, all that shit that you've been holding on to for all these years since you was 3 up until however old you are now. We're going to do away with that. Today the 30th will start your first day of your walking, your journey to do something that you've never done before for yourself. And that's to master who the fuck you are, to get it right so that you don't continue hurting yourself. Because as many times as you hurt other people, you hurting yourself again. It's not even about the other person. It's about you. As many times as you hurt other people, you hurt yourself one more time. And you won't do nothing but add to the bag of hurt. It's time out for that. Let's let that go. Let's see. Okay, y'all. So this ritual is $44. It is April the 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing like follow-up videos, but it won't be on my YouTube. It will be like on my Instagram or my Facebook. I'm going to post this up. Post the link up so people can watch it who missed it. If you know any friends, if you got friends, if you got relatives, if you got brothers, uncles, fathers, grandfathers, I don't give a damn who you think could benefit from this. Tell them about it or gift it to them, one or the other. It's necessary, and you do not have to be physically present. It is a ritual and it's a Reiki healing. So I will be transmitting energy, healing energy to each individual man that participates. You will get healing energies. And I'm going to tell you one deity that I will be using is Yemaya. Yemaya is my head. Yemaya has gotten me through a lot of shit. Yemaya is that mother-like energy. She is that nurturing energy. She is that love. She is that when you felt like you couldn't get to the next level and somehow you gathered up the strength from somewhere, that was Yemaya. Okay? Before you even knew what a deity was, trust me, the energy was still very present and prevalent. Okay? It came from somewhere. And a lot of times, even when we were asleep, there were aspects of ourselves. There were times when our higher self stepped in so that we didn't completely ball out of control or completely spin our ass out, or we didn't go and fuck ourselves up along with other people. There was an aspect of yourself that spoke in your ear and told you to, don't do that. That's why you are here right now. Okay. So just know that you guys, this is coming from a place of love. If y'all know, some of y'all know I did the Universal Love in January. So I'm going to be using some of that Reiki too, Universal Love, and it teaches you, it will give you a feeling of unconditional love, no attachments to it, no judgments with it, and you will be in a space where you can learn to look at people for their soul, not for the shell, not for the shit that they've done, but just the soul of the person. Because it's still a lot of us walking around. We don't know who we are. And we do have some very powerful people who are not awake yet. Okay. So, being able to operate from a space of gratitude and a space of unconditional love, trust me when I tell you on this will change your finances. It'll change your life in ways you never ever imagined. And I'm the first person that can tell you right now, forgiveness is not my deal. It wasn't my deal. But now I realize that holding grudges and not forgiving people, that shit will cripple you. That's why when you hear a lot of people say the forgiveness ain't for the other person, it's for you. That is very true on so many levels. And I'm not speaking from no shit that I have not experienced myself. I'm not telling you something that somebody else said. I'm not telling you nothing from a video that I watched or no book that I read. I'm telling you from my personal experience that not forgiving will cause your ass to be immobile. You will be ill. You will be fucked up somewhere, balled up in a corner. No, it's not worth it. For everything, for anything that you have ever desired for yourself, desire for yourself to be whole by yourself. When you can be whole all by yourself because you are enough. Remember that you came here just by yourself. It was just you. You are enough. You came here equipped with everything that you needed. You did not need another person to make you whole. Another person is a bonus to your addition. Okay. That's a bonus to your ascension, not a requirement. If it was the case, you would have came here with that person. You would have came here with, it'd have been two of y'all, maybe a few of y'all. It was just you. You came here all by yourself. You was not attached to anything else. Okay? So, sovereignty. Sovereignty is personal power. You deserve that. And somewhere along the way, that was taken away from you. Your sovereignty was snatched right up underneath your damn feet, and you didn't even know it. And you walked around for so long thinking that you had power, when in actuality, you don't. You gave it to somebody else. When you lay down with that person, or when you beat up that person, or when you got mad and pissed off because that person didn't do this right, or when your mother didn't do that for you, or when your father walked out on you, you gave them that power. Be sovereign and take care of yourself. Don't wait for somebody else, because it's always going to be just you. Okay? All right, you guys. So I got to go. I got to eat, and I got a class. So love you guys. Stay tuned. I will keep posting. If you are interested, please DM me for payment option so that you can get your slot. Okay. And you can pay up. Goddess activation is not just for women, because as I stated earlier in this video, we all possess masculine and feminine energy. The divine feminine is who you are tapping into. Okay. So why not? Why would you not activate that aspect of your energy so that you are able to create? That's your creative space. A lot of you guys are blocked, and you don't even know why. You are blocked in a lot of areas. Your finances are blocked. Your relationships are jacked up. They blocked up. Your family relationships are blocked up because you have not activated that goddess aspect of yourself, that divine feminine energy. And it does not make you gay. It does not make you, I don't even know, what is that? It doesn't make you a sissy. I don't even know what that is either, but these are words that have been given. So we bring life. We put life on shit that needs to die real fast. Okay. So if you want to be the best version of yourself, then I'm going to encourage you that you need to tap into your divine feminine energy. Bottom line. If you want to create, if you want to build, if you want to grow, if you want to, I hope that makes sense to somebody. If it don't, DM me, and I will try to break that down the way I can. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.